gosh, that one, I hate to say it, that one right there, that big one right there. What kind of tree is that one? That one, I didn't even pay attention to that one on that side. That tree is, and it ain't even in full bloom.
Which one?
Let me go back to it. Let's see if we can go over there. See, I hate to move it around. We on which color? Let me go around. Gosh, that one is.
Oh,
yeah, gosh, that one. No, I'm just thinking about. No, seriously, I'm really looking at, because I done seen these incidents, and I done seen the footage after incidents, and that's the main concern we got to have, because see, people don't say nothing until something happens, and then you're like, oh, I need to cut the tree down. Well, gosh, you knew that from the beginning. So technically, that's a level of liability, because anybody know by looking at these beautiful cameras that, hey, these trees got to go. It's gonna be on your footage.
yeah.
Let's see. I want to show you this. Which I think that's 35. I think it's building 35. But that tree, I didn't pay attention to that one. You see how big that one is? Let's see if it go to it. Let's see. 30. Okay, it's 35. Let me go over.
It looks like almost like an oak.
Yeah, this one right here. See this one?
Yeah, it looks like an oak.
Yeah, that's the one right there. That one's got to go.
What, somebody right there?
Yeah, that one's got to go. That one right there. Yep, that big baby right there. Right there. Yep, the one to the. Let me see if I can pull the camera over to it. It's to this one right here. That's got to go. That one right there.
That camera right there?
Yeah, you saw it. Did you see it? Hold on. No. Hold on. Let me take it back and let me see if I can pause the camera. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and pause this. Let me go ahead and pause this PDZ, because you need to see this. Let's go ahead and stop this guard tour. Okay, now let's stop. Okay. Come back here, buddy. Guard tour, stop. Now let's take it back over here. Right here, this baby right. Oh, let me stop it. Get here. Oops. Golly.
Yeah.
No, not that one. No, that's not the one. This one right here. See where my mouse is?
That one right there.
Yep. That one's got to go. That one right there.
They love that tree because they sit out there and they
Oh, you can get them an umbrella. you get them. Look at that shot though. You ain't gonna be able to see nobody going in those windows, running back and forth between those two entities, inside them doorways, or somebody breaking in that window. You can, and Warren, here's a question for you. Even if you trim that tree, that's not going to be sufficient enough. Am I correct?
Yeah, probably not. Unless you trim half of it, where you lower the bottom portion of it.
Now, Warren, what would you replace that tree with if you took that tree out to keep it looking cosmetic-y? I think whatever bush that would be in there only needs to be this high, right here.
You could put there's smaller trees that you could replace it with. There's, for instance, a very popular one is a Japanese maple. Those are very nice, but they're also they're a little pricier than normal. But they still give out that it's basically a miniature tree. There's some that give like ruby red leaves to it, and there's some that give a lighter green leaf to it. But they're very, very nice. They're low maintenance, and they're beautiful, honestly. A lot of QTs and things like that have them. Or a shrub, or you could do different designs where you put shrubs around a small tree, or or like that Japanese maple.
Yeah.
You have options.
And you still have the effect of the beauty that Tanya wants, but then now she can see, you can see between those two buildings.
Yep. So that whole right there, that whole area you see of that tree, the whole green spot where the leaves is called the crown. So you could basically, you can push forward that, you could raise that crown, so where it's, the trunk is the only thing that's standing there, and the crown is just like above your the level of the buildings. So because you don't really need to see on top of the buildings, but if you raise that crown, it depends on how much you can do it without harming the tree and without allowing the tree to go into shock. But how old are the trees? Do you know?
Well, they're probably about 10 years old.
10 years. Okay, so
this property went up back in 2009.
Okay, so they're not necessarily fully matured yet. They're close to getting there. So I mean, it depends on how. If we'd have to do like an analysis if we could raise the crown at least 50% of what it is now. That way you can still see what's happening under it.
Yeah. Oh, I see where you're going, Juan. Yeah, I see where you're going. So now the tree, you still have it at the top, and it still kind of provides that shade, but now it's so thin in the bottom, the camera can see what it needs to see.
Exactly. So if you reduce the crown at least 50%, the only thing that's going to be there in the way of the camera is that trunk, which is probably what 6 inches to 12 inches in diameter. So it's a lot. So you're going from however much that's blocking, which it'd be probably like what 7, 8, 10 feet. That's the width of that tree, of the crown of that tree, versus less than 12 inches of that is the trunk. So you're basically just trimming you're raising the crown of the tree, giving you more of a view for what's actually happening on the bottom, because you don't really care what's happening up top. And the angle of if you see the angle of the camera that it is now, if you raise the crown a little bit, all of the tree would be blocking is the tops of the buildings where the shingles are. But everything where all the activity is happening is clear, other than of the trunk that it would be less.
So we could actually use an application with a few of these bigger trees, like we go around. So that one, if it could be done without harming the tree. And what about this one right here? Could that same thing happen on this one right here too?
Correct. Yep. So you have that possibility of being able to, like I said, we probably have to be able to it'd be a risk with everything. I mean, we can say yes, it'd be fine to do it. Like I said, I can get an in-depth analysis of see how much the tree can actually contribute by a professional arborist, and see how much it could handle, how much of the shock. But when you do those things, it's you're risking for the tree to get into shock, and then sometimes they'll end up getting depressed, and they'll also lead to dying if they're young enough. But if they're mature, they're more likely to withstand a large trimming like that, like what happened with the tree that happened where we put the 40-foot pole. Since it's very mature, the tree's been there for 40, 50 years, it's going to be able to come back from it. They've only been there for 10 years. I wouldn't.
And like on these trees right here, see, I'll remove these trees, one, and put little bushes, because what these trees are blocking is my license plates and cars right here.
So, yeah,
might have rolled in here.
They'll probably have to go. You can. It's still going to be. It's even if you trim them all. I know the crepe myrtles are very strong trees, along with like a holly shrub, where you can basically trim them all the way down to the ground, where you just cut it off and they'll start to they'll come back again. But those crepe myrtles are just they're very aggressive if they're not removed fully. and they're more of a bushy type of tree. It's as you can see, but yeah, you have to replace it with like a small shrub.
Yep, a small
Like,
scrub. And see, that's not too bad, is it, Tanya?
I mean, the fact that you have an irrigation system helps the fact with that, because you can get very creative on low level landscaping ideas, and it'd look a lot better than having trees if you really get creative with your landscaping on it that are also going to be that's going to be uh, healthy for the security system, so it can catch everything that it can do. So I mean, you have options. I know it sucks to get rid of the trees, but you do have options. And then it goes back to the importance of having a landscaper that has a security assessment mentality along with its installation and design, so that you minimize and you're a lot more efficient, where you're not in this position that we are now, where you've already spent money installing crepe myrtles, because crepe myrtles are expensive. Right there, you have 4. You're looking at, and just the cost, you're probably looking at over, $1,000 for installation on just that, where it could have been avoided, from new construction. So you really want you really want your landscaping to correlate and work hand in hand with your security system. And then you could get really creative with the landscaping, where you put down gravel instead of mulch, so you can hear footsteps, and if your residents could hear footsteps, there's people crawling and peeking around the windows. You can get shrubs that are that have thorns to put around the windows and around your AC units and things of that nature, so it's not easily accessible to hide behind. You just have different options, and it all goes back on where the area is actually located and what type of community and what type of neighborhood it is. If it's a high crime rate, if it's a low crime, if it's a lower crime, you don't have to worry too much about it. If there's high crime, then you're going to have to worry more about it. So it just depends on how aggressive you want your landscaping to be with your security.
Yeah, and you like, and like you see there, and you look at that viewpoint. If you just had some shrubs or some bushes right there, now you can see you got clear field of view for these front areas. So that's a critical point as you just look at it. Just if the landscape were done differently, you still accomplish your mission of making your community look beautiful, but not affect those. The same here, like this tree here, the same thing. So smaller trees and a better landscaping kind of strategy, like having those using gravel instead of mulch, very important right there, because it can you can hear and detect when people are coming in there, and it looks good because you can do some white gravel and make it really look beautiful, much better than it looks now in these areas. So
well, we'll have to talk about it more.
We will, but I just hope you understand. I'm not giving you a hard time about the trees. I'm trying to accomplish 2 goals for you: giving you the maximum on your not only your security, but also enhancing the beautification of the property.
Exactly. So we want to make sure that you're secure. I mean, especially with the investment that the company's making in the security system. It's not just any ordinary investment. I mean, you're putting a good bit of money into it, so you want to make sure that it's covered. And in case of an incident that does happen once every 5 years or whatever, that one moment that security system is meant for, you want to make sure you catch it. You don't want that moment to happen. The next thing you know, there's a tree in the way that's causing it, and the company already spent thousands of dollars for, and then it's because I'm telling you, that's what thieves are looking for. Okay, where are the cameras? Where are the trees? Where are the spots that have low visibility? And they aim for that. So it's just the way it is.